Hello, my name is Ed Reynolds. I'm a visual artist. I'm based here in Northern Ireland. I've been living here for the last 15 years. I work with community arts organisations. I facilitate workshops throughout the province. I work as a muralist, as a caricaturist, as a painter, and as an illustrator. I've been doing all types of creative things with my hands over the years. I love what I do, and I will be teaching you a series of tutorials on the Wheelworks website YouTube channel over the next 6 weeks, beginning with very loose, very basic warm-up exercises and line drawing techniques to start us off and to get us to get us loosened up, because sometimes you could sit in front of a piece of paper or a canvas. It's like that expression, you know, that you've got the blank canvas ahead of you. Well, sometimes when you sit in front of that, you kind of wonder, where do I start? What do I do? Who's going to want to see this? It doesn't matter. You just go for it. You make your mark. So what I'm going to teach you are some very simple and very effective tricks that I've been using over the past while that help me get started when I sit down to draw. So we're going to get going with a very loose, warm and effective drawing exercise. Here we go. So just start by loosening up, making your mark, drawing some circles, drawing some lines, maybe making pointers, and drawing from here to there, this way over here, connecting these. Just put dots everywhere and anywhere. And the next thing you have are shapes, lines and form, and it's a very effective and useful way to begin making something that's your own. Yeah, it's always nice to have fun warming up. There's a kite. I can see that, but you can't. I have a doodle, I have a shape, I have a circle, I have a square, I have another square here. Remember these from being in school, drawing the 3D shapes? Looking down on a shape, looking over, and yeah, I'm going to pick a few more little pointers here, draw from them, and see where the pencil decides to go. It's always nice to draw and not think too much about what it is you're going to draw, or maybe at least letting the pencil just do its own thing. I'm gonna say not to use an eraser in these exercises, because I believe that every mark that we make is part of the makeup of the picture. So when sometimes people say, oh, I don't have a rubber, I don't have an eraser, I would say, look, just keep it there, let the line stay. If it stays under a color or under a shade, under whatever it's supposed to be there. I'm going to get a pen for this exercise, and I'm going to just maybe pull out some of these shapes that are drawn here. This is a, what you call it, this is a uni pen, fine line, 0.4 nib. Really nice to draw with when doing finished artworks. Always nice to have foundation lines drawn with pencil, and then we can just darken them with a permanent pen. I'm not an abstract artist, I'm more into realist painting. I would be of the traditional brigade, but you know, when you do exercises like these, you can kind of get an idea as to maybe where it is that abstract artists get maybe ideas from. We used to just do this in school the whole time. just pulling shapes out from nowhere and making them our own. I used to say that I used to love drawing with the old phone book at home when we used to have phone calls in the days of the old landline, and the phone book would be on the little stand in the hallway beside where the phone used to be kept, and we used to draw. They used to be just full of doodles. My dad would draw, but mostly me. If I was speaking to friends, I would have, by the end of a conversation, a telephone page full of just doodles, mindless doodles, things that were thought up without even having to think too hard about them, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I'd love to have those pictures now to see what they were about, or I even have a little collection of them just for sake of having them and maybe being a little bit nostalgic. So here are some, this is what I would say is a warm-up exercise, beginning loose hand and then drawing some abstract shapes. Now, if we had a full palette of colours, we could come in here and colour these. But maybe we'll do that in a later tutorial. But I just want to get you started with warming up. First of all, preparing your materials, sharpening your nib, and beginning the process of making an artwork that's your own. I love sitting down to a blank canvas and not having a clue as to where or how it's going to start or what will become of it or what the end product will be. Even for this video, I'm not sure what even this picture is going to turn out like, but you know what? I have faith and I have hope in it, and I have confidence that it'll turn into something nice, something weird, something wild, something wonderful. It's like a little Pac-Man there. So while it might look like a bunch of squiggly lines, doing this, doing that, doing whatever, you can just make of it and call it what you will. Just make your own. Just start scribbling. Don't be worried about what it's going to look like or what it's not going to look like. Just have fun with the pen, have fun with the paper. Now, as I said, yeah, with colour, this could be really interesting. And while I said earlier on, you know, you don't need a rubber or an eraser to remove any of the guidelines, the pencil lines. While I'm looking at it here through the screen, I can see, actually maybe if they were erased, it might maybe show up these lines a bit more clearer, but you know what, I think it's okay. I love seeing like where the scribbles were and how they were made. Then some artists would say, oh, but you don't want to give away the secret of how an artwork was created. It's up for the viewer to make up their own mind as to how it was made. But for these tutorials, I want to assist you. I want to help you draw, find your way in drawing and making marks of your own and having fun in making these marks. Because I could draw these, go on and on and on and draw these forever. But let's see how far we get. I have no plan. There's no book of instructions. There are no rules. You can't be told how to draw. You can only be you can be assisted. You can be guided. You can give some gentle instructions. But no one can say, this is the way you're supposed to draw. This is the way I prefer to draw. This is the way I like to loosen up. There's a squiggle. Maybe a few more squiggles along these curves. And don't know what they're about, but look, they're squiggles, they're curves and colours nonetheless. So, look, there are some shapes, there are some scribbles, and there are some lines. Okay, so this is just one of the exercises that I do. What we'll do maybe later on, I will come back to this. Maybe I'll colour it when I'm away, off camera, and I will show it to you on a later episode and see what was made of it. Right, maybe we can come up with a name for it somehow, or a title. But anyhow, there is the start. That's the beginning of our warm-up. Okay, here is a line drawing exercise that I love to do when I'm sat at my desk and wondering what kind of just mark to make. I usually start by getting the pencil out, maybe, and drawing the nearest available object that is to me. So I can see over there, I'm at the kitchen table. I can see a knife, a kitchen knife. I'm going to do just a very loose interpretation of that. I'm going to draw it in pencil. And I'm going to draw a border along this page. So I've got a uni pen water and fade proof pen here, 0.4, and they're really good for drawing with, because if you ever wanted to put colour washes or the like over the pen, it doesn't run, doesn't smudge. This is all very loose. I'm just going to draw this line along here as such, and I won't draw the line around the pen, the knife yet, but I'm going to do a series of nice linear lines, horizontal, from left to right of the page, and in no particular order in terms of, there will be no precise gaps in between. There's a little kink there, you see, little kink that I'm going to follow here. That sometimes makes a really nice contoured effect. And I would say to you, when you're doing this kind of exercise, please don't use a ruler. Rulers, they just they stiffen up pictures, they ruin a picture. You can tell a picture when someone's used a ruler. We were taught that in school, taught never to use a ruler from an early age, because you could tell a picture straight away, because it just looks so stiff, so sharp. So I'm using a steady hand from left to right here, and I'm just coming up to the lines of the knife, and I'm gonna just stay within or outside of that line, the pencil line there. I don't want to go in there because it would scupper the actual the look of the pen or of the knife. So I'm going to continue these lines over here. That line goes right through there. That line goes right through and through here, there. Another tip for doing line drawing like this is to always continue your line. Don't stop. Like, don't draw like this and going along, bit by bit by bit, because sometimes you see those lines, or you see where they stop, and they make for uninteresting lines. So just please do try and get into the habit of drawing your lines in one foul swoop. Says he, two lines as he speaks, but that's because I have an object to draw around here, and as you can see, by drawing around that object, it's beginning to form the shape and space of that object on the page. Okay, so I'm going to put a little kink along here again, right, and start creating this little interesting contour pattern, okay, which I love doing. And as soon as I get to the end there of the knife,
I can continue to draw just uninterrupted lines from left to right. Well, I can do it from here now. But yes, back to my instruction to just try and keep your lines fluid from start to finish. Even if they wander, or they squiggle, or they bend, or they kink, just go with it. Because a ruler is a liar when it comes to drawing a picture. It's not honest. Line drawing with your hand, however steady, is a great way to draw a picture. So you can see here, I can widen these little gaps out, see, from one end to the next. It's almost like, it's a contour type of image, almost like the kind of image you'd see on a map or the like. And as I said earlier on, there are no exact measurements between here. My eye is kind of just leading me. See, I've stopped now. My eye leads me along and my hand just moves along in a nice fluid manner to create this simple yet very effective line drawing of a table knife. And there was only like a couple of moments spent drawing the table knife. Okay, so we've got that. I just love this kind of thing along here. You know, they create kind of like a little effect, little ripple effect throughout the page. And sometimes what's nice to do is to run a bit of graphite or pencil through that and smudge it. See that? Just gives it a nice, almost 3D effect. I love that kind of thing. And what I was saying, yeah, just what I said earlier on about the pencil, I must reiterate for the sake of health and safety, maybe just go back and use a pencil parer and not the sharpener, because I'd be afraid that some of you might cut yourselves. But I haven't done a very good job in sharpening this because it's a very short nib here. But it works. If you have a blunt pencil and you have a biro, you can do the same thing. And if you don't have a sheet of paper, you can use the back of an old birthday card or whatever card. Just try and recycle and reuse as many of the materials as you have. And I know that there are fewer materials available given the situation we're in with the lockdown, and that's why for the purpose for these exercises I do like to use just basic materials. Okay, pen and paper, pencil and paper. Look, shading around the outline of the pen or of the knife. I know I keep calling it a pen. It's a knife, kitchen knife, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go over it with this pen because it might just, I don't know, it might just sharpen. Maybe I can. What do you think? Maybe let me just go along here first and see, because I don't want to lose that kind of delicate shape to the image of the knife. Okay, so I'll just do shading along here and smudging. Use your finger. Use a piece of paper, but you know, just get your fingers. Get some graphite on your finger and play with the materials that you have. Okay, it's almost like a shadow under there. And a little bit of shadow down here. It's almost like cloth. This is like, it's draped, or it's like whatever. It can be whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty. Ooh, I'm doing something like this. Look, there you have it. I'm going to do this for the sake of curiosity killed the cat. I'm going to go over it with the pen, okay? I know you're not going to mind. I'm going to start with the bottom of the handle. Let's go along here. And let's, follow along the pencil line. I'm going to take that sharp edge off it. As we're talking about injury earlier on and safety. And I'm going to run this line along here, up and over, keeping a steady hand, drawing fluid from one end to the other, round to meet the top of the knife. And there you have it. Look, Ed 2020. And there is a unique beginner's picture, a very loose and easy pen and pencil line drawing, okay? Just go for it, go at it, and just make your own shapes, make your own mark. Just don't think about what it is that you have to do or you want to do. Just go at it and see what the end result will be. I'm just hiding these little lines up here, bringing them right in. And so you can see even where I was saying about the continuity of lines, best bring them right to the edge. But anyway, I think that looks okay to begin with. Okay, thanks guys. See you next week for the next lesson.